John Carter, a 35-year-old firefighter in Seattle, was finishing his shift when he decided to take a walk in the park near the station. It was a cold and rainy night, typical for the city. As he walked along the damp and deserted trails, he heard a faint crying sound coming from a dark corner. His heart raced, and he ran towards the sound. Under a tree, he found a baby wrapped in a thin blanket, clearly abandoned and struggling to breathe. He picked up the little one, feeling the urgency to get her to the hospital. Upon arriving at the hospital, the medical team quickly took over. Dr. Laura Mitchell, an experienced and empathetic pediatrician, diagnosed the baby with severe malnutrition and hypothermia. "She needs intensive care," Laura told John, her eyes full of concern. "I don't know who left her there, but I can't leave her alone," John responded, determined. "I want to take care of her." Laura was moved by John's determination. "Then we need to start with the legal procedures. She needs a name." John looked at the baby, who was now sleeping peacefully. "Emily. I'll call her Emily." John had to completely reorganize his life to take care of Emily. He adjusted his work schedules and relied on the help of his fellow firefighters and neighbors to ensure Emily received the best care possible. His girlfriend, Rachel, was not happy with the situation. "John, this is pulling us apart." "I can't live like this," Rachel said, frustration evident in her voice as they argued in John's small apartment. John sighed, feeling the weight of his choices. "Rachel, I understand, but Emily needs me. I can't abandon her." Rachel shook her head, tears in her eyes. "I don't think I can be part of this." "You need to decide, John." The breakup was painful and left an atmosphere of tension and sadness. Rachel left the apartment, leaving John alone with Emily. He knew he was doing the right thing, but the loneliness was hard to bear. Determined to give Emily a loving home, John dove headfirst into his new responsibility. He faced sleepless nights and the challenges of being a single dad with courage, always putting Emily's well-being first. After months of legal processes and visits from social workers, John finally managed to officially adopt Emily. The adoption ceremony was simple but filled with emotion. His fellow firefighters were there to support him, celebrating with him. "You did an amazing thing, John." "Emily is very lucky," said Mike, one of his closest colleagues, as he hugged John. "I'm the lucky one, Mike. She changed my life," John replied, holding Emily in his arms. John's life revolved around Emily. He found new purpose and happiness in being a dad. The community around him also offered constant support. Neighbors helped care for Emily, and his fellow firefighters were always around to lend a helping hand. Emily grew up healthy and happy, surrounded by John's love and dedication. Every little milestone of hers filled his heart with joy and pride. Even facing financial and emotional difficulties, he never lost hope or determination. Life was beginning to stabilize when an unexpected turn occurred. John was accused of negligence during a rescue operation and was suspended from work. The news was devastating, adding to his financial and emotional struggles. "I can't believe this is happening," John said, desperate, to his friend Mike. "I would never put anyone in danger." "I know, John. We'll fight this," Mike replied firmly. "We'll get a lawyer and prove your innocence." With the help of a pro bono lawyer, John began to fight the accusations. It was a long and exhausting process, but he refused to give up. In the meantime, he took on temporary jobs to keep the bills paid and ensure Emily had everything she needed. During this period, Dr. Laura Mitchell became a constant presence in their lives. She helped with medical and emotional care for Emily and offered support to John during the toughest times. "You're doing an incredible job, John," Laura said one night. "Emily is lucky to have you." John smiled, feeling grateful. "Thank you, Laura. I don't know what I'd do without you." Finally, after months of struggle, the truth came out. The charges against John were dropped, and he was exonerated. Returning to work was a bittersweet victory, but he knew life would never be the same. With the storm finally passing, John began to think about a new beginning. He decided to open a training academy for firefighters, a dream he had had for years. With the support of his friends and Laura, he began to turn this vision into reality. The academy, named Emily's Station, quickly became a success. John found satisfaction in training new firefighters and spending more time with Emily. Life was getting back on track, and Laura's constant presence brought a new kind of happiness. John and Laura started to develop a deeper relationship. The nights they spent talking about Emily turned into dinners together, where laughter and shy glances gave way to a more intimate connection. One night, after an especially pleasant dinner, John and Laura walked through the park where he had found Emily. The air was cold, and they moved closer to share warmth. In a moment of silence, John gathered his courage and took Laura's hand, feeling butterflies in his stomach. Laura looked at him, surprised, but didn't pull her hand away. They continued walking, hands intertwined, until they reached the spot where it all began. John stopped and looked into Laura's eyes. "I don't know what the future holds, but I know I want you in it," John said, his voice low and full of emotion. Laura smiled, her eyes shining. "I feel the same way,
Over time,
John." The relationship between John and Laura deepened. They shared not only their love for Emily but also dreams and hopes for the future. One evening, during a dinner at a table with a view of Seattle Bay, the city lights reflecting on the water, John, feeling his heart race faster than usual, held Laura's hand for a moment. "Laura," he began, looking into her eyes, "you've transformed my life in ways I never could have imagined. You brought love and stability not only to me but to Emily as well. I can't imagine life without you. Will you marry me?" Laura felt tears of joy form in her eyes. "Yes, John. I want to spend the rest of my life with you." The wedding was an intimate celebration, surrounded by close friends and family. Emily was radiant in her bridesmaid dress, happy to see her dad and Laura so happy. The ceremony was held in a small garden in downtown Seattle, and the sound of the waves in the background added a magical touch to the event. After the wedding, John, Laura, and Emily began building their life together. They faced new challenges, like Emily's recovery from a bike accident that resulted in a broken arm. John and Laura's worry was palpable, but they supported each other and ensured Emily received all the necessary care. Shortly after, Laura discovered she was pregnant. The news brought a new wave of joy and anticipation to the family. "Emily, you're going to be a big sister," Laura said, with a radiant smile. Emily jumped with joy, hugging her mom. "That's amazing! I can't wait to meet my little brother." With the impending arrival of the new baby, John and Laura continued to build a solid and loving life. John dedicated himself to the firefighter training academy, Emily's station, which was thriving and gaining recognition for the quality of its training. Laura, meanwhile, balanced her medical career with her pregnancy. She continued to be a caring mother to Emily and a dedicated partner to John. The family spent weekends together, exploring Seattle's parks and enjoying picnics by Lake Union. Finally, the big day arrived. Laura gave birth to a healthy baby boy, whom they named James. James' arrival brought a new wave of joy and completeness to the family. Emily was delighted with her new baby brother and helped as much as she could. "He's so small," Emily said in awe, as she held James for the first time. "And you're going to be the best big sister in the world," John said, hugging his two children. The family dynamics continued to adjust and grow. James, now 5 years old, brought joy and mischief to their daily lives. Emily, alongside her parents, helped create a safe and loving environment for her brother. The family faced typical challenges, like James' first day of school and Emily's academic difficulties. But together, they overcame each obstacle with love and understanding. "James, you're going to do great. And I'll always be here to help you," Emily said, comforting her brother on his first day of school. John, Laura, Emily, and James' family life was full of precious moments. They spent time together, exploring the nature around Seattle, taking family trips, and simply enjoying each other's company. The Carter family continued to thrive, facing life's challenges with unity and resilience. John and Laura balanced their careers with their roles as parents, always prioritizing Emily and James' well-being and happiness. One afternoon, while watching the kids play at the park, John held Laura's hand and said, "We're so lucky, Laura. We have a wonderful family and a bright future ahead." Laura smiled, resting her head on John's shoulder. "Yes, John. We've been through so much, but we're stronger than ever. I love you and our family." The days passed with the routine of life, but each moment was cherished. Emily was preparing for college, full of hopes and dreams, while James grew, learning and exploring the world around him. That night, while putting James to bed, John whispered, "You're the best thing that ever happened to me, little one. Let's keep building this wonderful life together." And so, with love and unity, the Carter family continued to grow and thrive, facing each new challenge with strength and joy. The future was bright, and they were ready for everything life had in store for them. Dear viewers, if you enjoyed the story, please support the video by liking it and leaving a comment. Thank you so much.